good. Dave, do you think you had the game in the bag 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, we should have had the game in the bag. We to have a lead like that and then blow it in the last few minutes. I mean, credit to the Reds for fighting, but we didn't control the game well, obviously at that point, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, how do the emotions sit with that?
No, look, I think we were a lot better tonight than we were 6 days ago, and I think with everything that's going on in the group, I think I'm relatively pleased with that. I'm also hell of a proud of all the young guys. I thought a number of them stood up tonight. Josh Kemeny, I thought was really excellent. Pono Palmasili was excellent. Trevor Sayer, when he came on, was excellent. So, but I'm probably just disappointed in the way that we managed the game towards the back end of the game, and obviously, in wet conditions, if your set piece is not firing, then you're going to struggle, which is probably what a large part of our undoing towards the back end.
Dane, you out there that final, what do you think kind of fell apart that final few minutes, and what do you think
Yeah, I think as Dave said, we didn't quite manage the game well enough. I thought obviously came under a bit of pressure, and then I didn't think we probably kicked well enough at the end there to close out the game. Credit to the Reds, they did a good job fighting back, and great for the fans having that golden point, and us having to battle it out for another 10 minutes, and no one really wanted to lose that at the end.
Yeah, what did you make of the super time golden point period?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. You could see the players are out on their feet, but everyone's kind of pushing to try and get that result, build a bit of pressure and try get that winning point.
Dave, heading into that extra time, super time period, is there any particular strategy you told the guys for that period?
No, I mean, I think we, to be honest, I probably felt we played pretty well most of the game, and then up to that last sort of 10 minutes, so it was just trying to regather ourselves and try to execute the things that we were talking about. As Dane said, we probably, some poor kicking towards the back end of the game, probably let them in the door, it obviously did. And then I think our set piece was the most, we won 66% line out, we gave away 15 penalties in the game, a lot of them at scrum time. So, that puts us under pressure in wet conditions. So I think if it weren't for those things, the rest of the game has come a long way in 6 days. So we're pretty pleased about that, but obviously we've got some work to do.
Today, as you guys sort of compete with these new rules, do you think that's the way forward for the super time game?
Yeah, I mean, you were watching. Was it more exciting? I think probably gives the fans what they want, and I mean, no one really wants a draw at the end. Probably would have been good to keep going to as a winner. But yeah, I think we're definitely disappointed. We felt like we dominated large parts of that game, and had a couple of disallowed tries early and just didn't quite take the opportunities to put them away.
Do you think stopping the clock for scrum resets in extra time might be an option? Like that sort of tune up a little bit of time there?
I think scrum resets generally in rugby is probably the thing that we want to look at as much as we can. I think in league you've sort of seen how they reintroduce, I don't know what they call it, where they reintroduce a set of 6 without the whistle blowing. I think something like that where we could give a short arm instead of resetting the scrum, just keep the game flowing. But I don't think that's necessarily an Australian problem. I think that's probably just the game of rugby that probably something that we might look at.
There's a wet penalty, so he's got the lights. I know it's both sides, but I mean, it must be frustrating when the Reese kicks a 50-22, you get down there.
Yeah, and that's the moment you're going to win the game, right? Like you win that line out. But that was kind of probably summed up the story of the night for us, And, look, I mean, Geordie's only had probably, maybe 5 starts for the Rebels. Pone's playing his second game. Trevor Sayer's playing his second game. Essay's probably playing his 5th game. Who else was on the field at that point? So there's a lot of young players on the field, and I think probably like most other teams in the comp, I think if we had more experienced players there down the track, they learn from that, and it's a pretty painful lesson, but that's what we have to do and move forward with it.
Marika, okay. What's the story?
Marika failed his HIA, so I think it was Hunter who high-tackled him there, so it was in that moment.
We also spoke about last week, is there a realisation now that you might be on the road for the whole comp? Obviously the situation in Victoria's got deteriorated.
Yeah, I mean, I think also credit to the team. Like it hasn't been the easiest couple of days, and guys are separated from their family. I think probably probably realising that we are likely to be separated from our families for an extended period. But the reality is, I mean, as we keep reminding ourselves, guys, we play rugby for a living, you know, and we're hell of a lucky to be able to do those sort of things. And there's a lot of people in society generally that are doing it a lot tougher than we are. So I think the boys, to their credit, are in a really good space, you know. And I think we've trained hard, and we've made huge improvements, I reckon, in 6 days. You know, some of the pieces of our game that just were non-existent in Canberra were certainly there tonight. So that's pleasing. We've got a break now, some time off, and bye week next week, and then we'll hit the ground running against the Waratahs.
Is that by kind of good time? You guys are all the things you have on
Yeah, I think one of the challenges is at short notice. You know, little things like where you're training, what gym facilities are you using. It's not normally those things are set up ahead of time, and obviously because of the COVID restrictions, that also makes it doubly difficult to find access to the things that you can do and can't do. And so yeah, we've been, I think Rugby Australia have done a great job in helping us with that. But we had to drive down, bus down from Canberra on late on Wednesday, and move all the gear. We're travelling obviously now with a lot of gear because we're on the road permanently. So those little things which haven't necessarily been planned because it happened in a hurry are different challenges for us. But I think the group's in a really good space. Credit to them, and it's a really good bunch of guys, and I'll say a lot of young guys in the group. So I think for them touring's also quite fun. So or for all of us it is, but especially for them, I guess.
Is Canberra still a preferred option for you base, or is that possibly not?
I think one of the things that's probably happened in places like Sydney is there's a lot of codes that are here, and the scramble for access to training grounds, recovery facilities, places to lift is a challenge. But again, we are looking at a few options. We're going to go back to Canberra on Wednesday, and then we'll train there. We'll have a few days off, and then we'll go back there on Wednesday, train for a week, and come back and play the Waratahs. And then after that, we're not sure yet. It's not been locked in.
And just your take on the kicking tonight, like in general, like that?
Two different halves of it, I thought. Tom, I thought the first half would create some real pressure with our kicking game, and then towards the back end, through fatigue and different things. I thought the game was hell of a attritional. I thought some of the contacts in the game were some of the biggest I've seen in a long time. There were some really genuinely big hits. I think leading up to our try, that Billy scores, Cameron always hits in midfield on Harry Wilson is a pretty special moment for a big prop to get up there and make that. I think Pone Famasili's tackle. So I just thought the whole game there was real physicality in that game, and I was proud of that because I felt that we didn't match that with the Brumbies last week. We were slow out the blocks last week in that area.